Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome to my brand new Let's Play series, Let's Play Untold Legends, Brotherhood of the Blade. And this is a game that I'm really excited to play on this channel. I've been wanting to do it for about 5 years or so, but I could never find a stable ROM image of this game, let alone at the time an emulator that could run it without it being just a catastrophic disaster, with it either just crashing and not working at all, or it would run at like 2 frames a second and none of the input keys would work. So about a month ago I had the perfect storm come together and I got a working version of it, and it all works pretty damn well, outside of like a minor graphical glitch where sometimes things on the inventory screen will kind of flicker out and be a little weird, and then sometimes with the audio the background music will cut out occasionally. But after about like 30 seconds to a minute, it comes back in, so it's nothing that severe. So we'll deal with it. It's all good. So, for those of you that don't know what this game is, Untold Legends was one of the original launch titles for the PSP back in 2005. I think it got about average reviews. I think the average score for this game was roughly about like 6.5 to 7 out of 10, with the exception of one place. I think it was like Metascore gave it about a 38 out of 100. So they were a little tough on it. But I adore this game. It's a game that every time I pick up my PSP, this is always the first thing that I go back and play. And mainly because it reminds me a lot of Gauntlet Legends in a number of respects. It's an action-based RPG game with hack-and-slash elements in there, and that's right up my alley. It's one of my favorite style of game all time. And I still remember the very first time that I played this, actually. My brother bought the PSP on launch day, and he got this game along with a couple other ones, and he brought it home, and I was actually playing Gauntlet Dark Legacy at the time. And he's like, "Oh, dude, you gotta check out this new game that I just bought." And he let me play it for about an hour, and I fell in love with it right away. Not to say that it doesn't have some flaws, because it certainly does, and we'll cover that over the course of this series. But it's just one that it really kind of takes me back, you know? The big thing is I haven't beaten this game in over 10 years, so there's a lot of the story that I don't quite remember. And so we'll have to uncover that as we go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replay the prologue, because it kind of just shows up right in the beginning there, and so I skipped it. We can go back and read it, and then we'll create our character and get moving along. So let's check it out. The prologue of Brotherhood of the Blade. The text only goes up about halfway up the screen, so I'm gonna have to try to read this a little bit quickly. So if it sounds a little wonky, I apologize. The streets of Aven are dressed in the brilliance of celebration, and all is prepared for the time-honored Festival of the Crown, a day that marks the anniversary of Aven's founding nearly 2 millennia ago. Today, one who is pure of heart and innocent of soul has been chosen to champion this year through morality, virtue, and justice. Today, a new crown has been elected. The people of Aven are gathered in the town square, their spirits and voices high with prideful patriotism, as they gaze in admiration upon the beautiful young woman on the dais. I don't know how to pronounce that. She smiles brightly to her brethren and subjects as the Academy Overseer, Lisetta, places the ceremonial crown of Aven upon her head. Kaylee, the brilliant apprentice of the Academy and beloved by all, has been elected the Crown of Aven for this new year of Aven's everlasting history. The ceremony of the crown ends with roaring applause and cheering. Now is the time for the Tournament of the Guardian to begin. I always thought this screen was funny. It just looks like an alien there. They're like, "Oh shit, an alien!" The day nears its end, and the people of Aven gather in the Howling Pine Tavern and Inn. Kegs of beer and countless bottles of wine pour freely from the bar, and hot food from the kitchen is plentiful. You are the last to enter through the front doors of the tavern, your clothing and armor soaked in sweat and torn from the trials of the tournament. Hail to the crown! Hail to the guardian! The tavern collectively stands and cheers loudly at your entrance. News travels fast in Aven, for you'd only just won the tourney a few minutes past, and because Aven's fucking tiny. Tonight, you sleep in the tavern suite that has been readied for your anticipated stay throughout the duration of your guardianship to the crown. With a belly full of fine food and drink, you finally lay yourself down for a much-needed rest. Sleep comes quickly, and dreams are soon to follow. All right, and there's the prologue. I kind of wish that there was one more screen of exposition because they kind of cut it a little early, but that's okay. We'll get moving here. All right, so let's create our character. As you can see, we got, you know, the standard 4 classes here. We've got the Berserker, which is the rogue, if you will. Lower defense, but very high attack, high speed. We got the Druid, which is, you know, one of your casting classes. I think he has a move, and I've never really played as the Alchemist or the Druid extensively, but I'm pretty sure the Druid has this one spell that it can cast where he conjures up like this fucking tornado that just will run through enemies and just totally obliterate them. It's so awesome. Then the Alchemist is another really cool one. I've never really been as much of a casting class type of dude when it comes to games like this. I love just going melee and just beating the living hell out of stuff, and so we're gonna take the Knight. It's gonna be good. The one thing about the Knight that always makes me laugh is that his run cycle is a little derpy. Like, the way that his head just kind of bobs around is sort of funny. So, customization, by the way, not exactly the greatest thing in the world here. It's very limited, but, I mean, it's, you know, it's a very trivial thing, I think. It's not really that important. The hairstyles in this game, for the limited ones they have, I think all look completely hideous. So we're gonna stick with being bald here, and then hair color means not if you don't have any. And then our skill points here, or our attribute points. Obviously, strength and stamina are 2 major things for warriors. And then dexterity is going to be for our ranged abilities, i.e. our bow and arrow. It's not really a super important skill, even though they say that it's recommended for knights. I guess it's also good for our special abilities too, but believe me, it's really not going to be something that we're going to need super high levels of. But we'll adjust it accordingly. Intelligence is something that really, I mean, they recommend it for alchemists and druids because they're naturally casting classes, but warriors or the knights can totally benefit from it too, because it does increase your mana pool, and all of your special abilities in the game do draw from that. So, you know, if you're the kind that really likes to use those heavily, it never hurts to, you know, to put some points in intelligence every once in a while. For me, though, you'll see exactly why that's not necessary for us. So, all right, now the most important thing of all, let's get ourselves a name, and I think I've already got a name. We're gonna take a name from a game that I played a lot as a kid. It was a classic Windows PC game known as Hellbender, and we're gonna take one of the names of the planets out of there, and we're gonna go with Kresh. I always thought that was kind of a cool name. So, the newly appointed Guardian of the Crown of Aven, the Knight Kresh, which this game also does have multiplayer abilities, but it's not hosted like online. It's local multiplayer only through the ad hoc system. So kind of nifty if you have a few other people around that have the game and want to play. But we're going single player campaign all the way. So here we go, guys. Let's jump in. Ugh. Yeah, that's one of those audio anomalies I was talking about. It's just like this hideous sound. I don't think you're really going to hear it much after that, though. You awaken from shifting dreams of darkness. As you rise from the bed, you can still hear the clicking sounds from your dreams. And now we get to kill some spiders! A Praetok spider? The catacombs in Aven are crawling with these things. But they're supposed to be peaceful. A terrified scream echoes from down the hallway. They're supposed to be friendly, he says. Bullshit. You find me spiders anywhere that are willing to just sit down and chill and, you know, throw back a couple of beers with you, and then I'll be willing to change my viewpoint on that, but I don't think I'm ever going to. Please, Guardian, you must help. The spiders, they've never done this before. They're attacking people. Oh, you know, because that's not what they totally do all the time. She's like, they're attacking people. They've never done it before. Normally, they've been working as our butlers. I was actually gonna have them bring your grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup up the stairs into your room. Then they just threw it on the floor and just started injecting their venom into everyone's face. And just, I can't understand it. Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh yes. Take on. We are the Terminex man. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That is one thing that I love about this game, is that when you hit enemies, you can feel it. It has just like that loud, just kind of sounds like a car accident almost. So, ooh, an exquisite pick. Okay, so we get to level up, so we'll do that real quick. We get some points to spend, and we'll put one each here. And we've got our talent tree, which, you know, blocking... We don't even have a shield right now. I may use a shield for a little bit in this game unless I find a good quality two-hander early on. Realistically, we won't use this too much because there is a talent that you can get right around like level 13-ish that will essentially completely change our play style for basically the remainder of the run. So it's kind of a talent that's not necessarily worth it. So we're going to totally sink one in here just to up our melee damage in general. And then this, if we ever choose to do it, is one of our special attacks. The power swing is just kind of like an AoE move, but it does so little damage that I never have really felt like it was actually worth the time to build. I will probably still put 1 point in there anyways because I think that it'll unlock Flurry to be used, and that's one of the most valuable special moves for us to use in this game as this character. Oh, Guardian, you scared me! I saw something big and dark run into the foyer. Hey, you better watch how you word that. That could be taken very, that could be taken a different way out of context in this politically correct world of ours. Alice ran up the stairs. Look out, they're everywhere. Well, I think we'll have something to deal with there. What you doing? Can't you see we're being attacked? I saw something big rush the front door. Don't let that thing get out into the city. Well, then I won't. Oh, we got more. Ooh, a big hammer. Interesting. Okay, so let's really quick, before we get too far into things, let's check out our basic stats here. So we got 77 health, 99 mana, or power, I guess as they call it in this game. By the way, our character's level is up here, gold, and then our you know, weight load, so nice to have that there. Our standard damage between 10 to 17 a swing. Our range is just stuck at 3 based off of our dexterity points, or down there. So once we get a bow, that'll definitely go up plenty. This is our armor rating, which it would be nice if they would actually tell you like what percentage of damage you're actually mitigating with your armor, but what are you gonna do? And then here's all of our elemental resistances, like resisting death. How nice. It's actually for poison, but that's okay. And then just our numbered stats here, which this diagram here I always thought was kind of funny because for the longest time I didn't realize that they were just floating orbs. I always thought that they were like these weird little like circular like finger glove things that just go onto the tips of your fingers. I don't know why, it's such a stupid thing. And then we got our classic you know, potions here. We got our power vials to replenish the power. This is for the health. And then we have these cool rejuvenation vials that on the off chance that we run out of either one of these, the rejuvenation vial will function as one or the other. So if you're out of power vials, it'll just work as a power vial. Comes in handy in a pinch, believe me. Then we've got our armor here, and then we have weapons. So we did pick up these. Ooh, wow, that's actually pretty damn good. 22 to 37, 25 to 31. It's two-handed, which means it'll be slow as shit. So I think we'll take this, just for having, you know, better overall, probably better damage per second anyways. So now we're up to 26 to 43. I will take that. Ooh, a shadowed Pratox. I always thought those things looked pretty cool. I like that visual effect on them. So, oh yeah, boom, boom. That spider looked like it was made of smoke or shadows. It's been generations since the last time a Pratox was seen within the walls of Aven, and never one like that. Maybe the records at the Academy can shed light on this. They go back centuries. Overseer Lisette at the Academy. She'll know what's going on. I hope. Okay, so we got experience out of that. Ooh, a fine hardened tunic. So here's one thing. In terms of like weapons and armor and certain items, well actually not items per se, but as far as like weapons and armor go, if you find ones that come up as red like this, they're ones that they're not usable by your class. So it's something that you'll just have to, you know, go and sell them at the merchant table or whatever. If you find ones that are in gold, then they're ones that are just a couple levels above you and you're not able to use them yet, but you can later. So, and then white ones are just, you know, usable right away, so. Oh yes. Hiya! I'd love to know how these spiders were hiding these things inside of themselves, by the way. I feel like we were probably doing them a favor in terms of, you know, getting that out of their system. So can't use that one, but we do have these fine scale mail leggings that will look absolutely ridiculous. That's the one thing about this game, is that when you wear things that aren't of the same color scheme, they look pretty funny on you. Guardian, what are you waiting for? I saw Praetox swarming down Scholar Way. I hope the Overseer and Kaylee are alright. Yeah, me too, actually. It'd be pretty unfortunate if they just went straight up and died right in the beginning of the game, so let's hope that they're hanging in there. Boom. Boom. Sorry, Sabine, you probably should have gotten out of the way, otherwise I wouldn't have slapped you with a mallet in the face. The Academy is up the stairs and through Market Plaza. Be careful near the manholes. The catacombs under Aven are infested with Praetox. I don't understand. They're not normally aggressive creatures. Dude, they're spiders, man. It's like they're designed to be on this earth to be a nuisance to mankind. Seriously. The Elder is safe and well back at the temple. However, I'm concerned about the Academy. I saw Praetox pouring out of the western catacombs and heading up the stairs. I hope Kaylee's alright. Well, if you saw them pouring out and going up there, why didn't you do anything about it? Why is this all my job here? Oh, get the fuck out of here. We got this stoic son of a gun. If it is recognition you seek, then you must do more than exterminate a few insects. Make haste in your duties. You know, I could have totally done something about this crazy outbreak of spiders, but I'm too busy just looking off into the distance. Oh, this is totally a floating city, by the way. We are suspended up in the air, so that's pretty nifty. Let's go make our way over there. Ooh, we got arrows. We will take those. Okay, and a couple more. Ooh, we got some jewelry. A ring. Just a standard, everyday ring. Because every kiss begins with K. Oh. No, we don't really need it. I mean, it's free intelligence. I guess we'll wear it for right now. You can wear 2 rings. You can wear, like, an earring type of thing as well, and then one necklace. So we might as well wear them until we get something to replace it with. Guardian, it is time to put your warrior skills to the test. This is why we select a Guardian every year, even though it's been centuries since there was a need. Kaylee, my most brilliant protege in the elected crown of Aven, has been abducted. She was last seen in Market Plaza, and I suspect she'd been taken into the secret catacombs. Move quickly, Guardian. It is your sworn duty to protect the crown. This stone will help you brave the darkness. The Lucetta Stone. Not to be confused with the Rosetta Stone. Which, for a little while, that's kind of what I'd always refer to it as. Not only can it help you see in the darkness, but you'll learn every language known to man. So this is what we're going to do really quick before we go off into that area, which, one thing, by the way, that really peeves me about this game is the camera angle. It gets a little weird. You do have the ability to adjust the camera whenever you really want to, and you can zoom it in as much as you'd like, but I don't think that playing this far in would be advisable, so we'll keep it out. But there will be a lot of times where we have to stop and do this because it's, you know, it just gets into an angle that you don't like. So one thing that I really like about the shop is that they do have a very vast level of things that you can buy in terms of like weapons and armor. The items area is usually much more limited, but they do give you a nice array of things to choose from, which, God, I want these turquoise rings so bad. 12 strength is fantastic. We will take one of these, though. The Lambent Crystal is one of my favorite little enchantment items in the game. The cool thing with these is that you can buy them, and you can either enchant your armor or a weapon with it, and you get completely separate benefits from doing so, and I thought that's a really cool touch. And each one of these things all has kind of a different idea involved in it. Which, yeah, it says slightly increased critical hit percentage. I wish that in the stats thing that they would actually tell you, what your critical strike percentage was. They don't do that, and it's kind of a bummer, but it's not like a super big deal. So we're totally going to buy one of these. We don't have enough. My bad. Okay, so we should sell a couple of things then. We'll sell this and this. We do have some things to sell here as well. So that might afford us with something that we can maybe buy that Lambent Crystal with. The cool thing, too, is that they do have some items in the shop that already have enchantments on them, like the War Axe of Earth, or I think I saw another one down here. Yes, we have this one, too, like the Warhammer of Justice. And there are some weapons in the game that actually have like stones or crystals or gems on them that you can't buy in the shop. Like, they're ones that you either have to, or that you can't like buy out of this one area here. They're just items that you find like this, that you can only get them this way or as special dropped, randomly dropped items out in the world. So it kind of gives it a little bit of rarity, which I think is pretty cool. So for now, I think we'll just stick with the weapon that we have. And then, let's see here. I don't think we're going to really worry too much about what we have right now. I think it'll be fine. So this is what we're going to do. I think we're going to stop right here. Oh, and by the way, whenever you leave the city and come back, like a little bit later in the game, they will totally refresh the entire market. So once we go down into the secret catacombs and come back, all the stuff in here will be totally new items. So I think that's pretty cool too. So, my friends, I think we're going to stop right here. When we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Untold Legends Brotherhood of the Blade, we're going to go down into the secret catacombs and see if we can save Kaylee before any further damage comes to her. So, I hope you guys decide to stick around for this series. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. I've not gotten to play this in such a long time, and I can't wait to kind of rediscover a lot of this stuff. So I hope you guys decide to enjoy it with me. So until then, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.